What's up, you guys? Welcome to this week's One Piece review. And in this week's video, I'm 3 chapters late, so I'm just going to try to condense everything into one video so I can catch up to the latest chapter that's going to come out next week. We have Luffy fighting Dogtooth in Brulee's Mirror World, and I think that this battle so far has a lot of good aspects and a lot of negative aspects. For starters, we see that with Dogtooth's Devil Fruit, he's able to pretty much replicate a lot of Luffy's attacks. And in some ways, this is very cool because we pretty much see a stronger version of Luffy, pretty much. But it's also kind of lame, in my opinion, because it takes away from the uniqueness that I thought that Dogtooth would have. And I would like to see Dogtooth or Katakuri use some of his own original attacks instead of pretty much replicating Luffy's attacks and just firing them right back at him. But it also makes me interested in whether he can replicate Gear 4th, because he was able to replicate a lot of Luffy's Gear 2nd attacks, plenty of his Gear 3rd attacks, but can he replicate Gear 4th? And we've seen what Luffy in Gear 4th is capable of doing. This is capable of beating Doflamingo. This is capable of beating Cracker. This is capable of making Big Mom herself pull out her own hockey-imbued block. So what will this do to Katakuri, who has this super high level of prediction hockey, and who, let alone his own skills and his own Devil Fruit, are able to match Luffy's punch for punch and attack for attack? Also, we see that Perospero survived the explosion. He lost an arm. Pretty much, I think Perospero is going to die eventually. You know, he can't keep up this ruse with Big Mom forever about this wedding cake. And, you know, they're on top of the ocean on this freaking giant candy wave. And as we see in, like, the next chapter that, you know, Luffy's crew comes under attack. And we see that Perospero and Big Mom, she managed to make, like, the candy wave a homie and everything like that. But like I said, they're just on thin candy wave ice, per se. Because, I mean, they're in the middle of the ocean. Big Mom is not exactly herself. She's not exactly thinking smart or reasonably or logically. Perospero is heavily wounded. One fall into the ocean and that's it. That's all it really takes for, you know, Perospero and Big Mom to be out of this, Yonko or not. You know, Devil Fruit rules still apply. Also, we see Sanji, and we see Pudding, and we see Chiffon reach Cacao Island and start making the cake. And I've got to admit that in the beginning, Pudding's kind of homicidal, angry tsundere side it was kind of cute and it was kind of funny, but now it's just kind of getting like annoying, because at first it was like, oh yeah, you know, that's pretty funny. Now it's just like, okay, we get it. You don't like to admit your feelings for Sanji in front of him. At some points, it just gets annoying. But also we see that Jinbei managed to maneuver the Straw Hats and their ship away from the freaking giant candy tsunami that was about to hit them by riding right into the middle of what they call the Green Room. And I think that, you know, Jinbei should just be a member of the crew. He has a lot of things to contribute to the Straw Hat team. And if he joins the Straw Hats, they're just going to be that much more powerful overall. And that would just be amazing. But Luffy's also just getting beaten by Dogtooth. And I understand that Dogtooth is the strongest of Big Mom's Sweet Commanders. At least I assume he is. And I understand that his Devil Fruit definitely outclasses Luffy in some aspects, and he's able to replicate a lot of Luffy's attacks. But at the same time, I feel there's no excuse for why Luffy just doesn't pull out Gear 4th right now. Although, if you consider, he's had a pretty long day. He's used Gear 4th to fight off Cracker. He's fought off some of Big Mom's enraged army. He just rescued Sanji out of that wedding arrangement and everything like that. So if you consider, I guess overall he is exhausted, but if he could just pull out Gear 4, I don't think he would just be curb stomped like this by Dogtooth by any means. He would give Dogtooth a run for his money. But like I said, I really want to see if Dogtooth can replicate Gear 4. If he can, that would be insane. But I would also like to see Dogtooth pull out his own moves. Also, I kind of understand, but I'm kind of disappointed because Dogtooth's Devil Fruit ability is no longer it's no longer a Logia anymore. It's considered a Paramecia or a special Paramecia. And so I'm just like, well, I understand that it's not a natural element that occurs in nature and that it's like a man-made element at the same time. But it's just like, okay, so what you're saying is there is now a whole possible class of Paramecia type Devil Fruits that act exactly like Logias. Now, that's pretty much what you're saying. You can pretty much like retcon all the other non-canon Logia type Devil Fruits. I think one of the non-canon Logia Devil Fruit types was a guy that could turn into paper. I guess you could kind of say that that's not Logia anymore because it's not a naturally occurring thing. Like paper just doesn't naturally occur in nature. So I guess you could say that's kind of a special Paramecia type Devil Fruit. I just felt like they could have just given it to him. They could have just given it to him. They could have just labeled his Devil Fruit like as a false Logia or a man-made Logia or something like that. But just saying it's a Paramecia, I don't know. I just feel like it adds just another layer on the Paramecia Devil Fruit category altogether. Because we see a broad range of Paramecia type Devil Fruit abilities. Some that affect your body, some that affect intangible things, some things that affect your environment around you. And then, you know, with Zoan Devil Fruits, we have all these other different categories. Carnivores, herbivores, dinosaurs, mythological Zoan Devil Fruits, artificial Zoan Devil Fruits. And with Logias, well, you just got Logias. You just got pretty much destructive and non-destructive. You just pretty much got, you know, that. It's not much going for the Logia category except, like, you know, pretty much the base OP of the Devil Fruit itself. Like with Logias, you're just overall base. Like in your base form, you're just OP. You're intangible to a lot of attacks. You can manipulate an element. You can pretty much create an element. But with Zoan Devil Fruits, especially mythological Zoan Devil Fruits and Paramecias, you're pretty damn OP if you train it or if you gain mastery over it for a period of time. And, you know, with Logias, we just don't really know exactly how much. We've seen Crocodile be able to turn his reflexively and use some other abilities, but besides that, there's not really much going for Logias in the new world, in like this other half of One Piece. You know, Logias used to be this thing where it's just so intimidating, but now that we're in the new world, it's not that intimidating. What's intimidating is Paramecia type Devil Fruit abilities. What's intimidating is mythological Zoan Devil Fruits, because, you know, pretty much with Haki, this whole base overpoweredness of the Logia has just pretty much been negated. But this is BM. I'm trying to catch up to the last 3 chapters that I haven't made a video on. Can't wait for the next chapter to come out. Like, comment, share, subscribe. What did you think about the last 3 chapters? Bye.